Hey, I wanted to show you how to make a Google form in this video. So the first thing that you need is make sure you have a Google account. If you do, the easiest way to access that account is go to google.com. And when you get there, you will see that you are logged in. You might have your picture there and you're going to have your name there. To get to your apps, your Google apps, click on the 9 boxes. And these are some of the apps I have. I have tons of apps if you click on the more. But we're going to access our drive. And so inside your drive, you're going to make a form. And so top left, you see the red button that says New. You want to make a Google form. So you've probably heard of Docs before, but it's after that. Here's my Google form. And the first thing you're going to want to do when it opens up is you're going to want to name it. So whatever your test is or grade level, you're going to want to name your form so you can easily find it inside your drive. So I'm just going to say this is a practice one. And here's some options, some settings of your form. Don't have that checked, because if you have it checked, only a certain group of people can view your form. You can have a progress bar at the bottom to show students how many questions they've accomplished. You can have this one checked off, or this one, which is shuffle question order, so students can't cheat easily using devices or iPads. But a couple things up here, this is where I edit my questions. I can change my theme if you want to change what it looks like to, just make it appealing to students. You can choose or customize whatever you like there. If you want to view all your responses once you give the test, you can do it right here by viewing your responses. And when you click on that tab, it'll open up a spreadsheet of your responses. You also have, let's see if I can find it here. You also have View Live Form, which you can view exactly and see what your form looks like on the internet. And this is where you can grab your URL. That's the URL that you need to give to your students so they can take it, whether that's on your website or your blog, or you put it on the board. However you get there, you need that URL for them to access. But back at our form, let's edit the questions. And it's quite simple. Question title. I always put, what is your name? That way I know who it's coming from. And a couple of things you want to do. Your question type for what is your name is text. They can type that in and make that required. That way they have to answer that question. Hit done, you made your first question. Now these 3 tools over here, I can trash the question, I can go back and edit it, or I can duplicate it. And duplicating is easy if you're making similar questions. Like if I duplicate this one, it's going to say the same question. Now I can just change first to last. And so I now have, what is your first name, what is your last name? If I want to add more questions, you can also add item right here, or click on the drop down arrow and you can choose from multiple question types, and you have your advanced. So a grid, you can make a big grid, date, time, a section header, so if you have different parts of your exam or survey or quiz, page break, or an image or a video. And when dealing with math, I always put math images, fractions, or pictures of rectangles if I'm dealing with area, so students can actually see a picture of it. So then when you have all of your questions, you can move them, you can arrange them by just dragging, and that you can move your questions here and there. If you forget one, you can always add it back and put it where you want it. At the very bottom, you have a couple more options. It says show link to submit another response. So when the students take the practice form and they hit submit, there'll be a link that says click here to take another one. And this is useful if you're giving quizzes on limited amount of computers, so students don't have to type in that URL every single time. Publish and show a public link to form results. So that's if you want all of your students to see all the data that's came in, or the answers to all the questions. And then this one, allow responders to edit responses after submitting. I would not do that one if this is going to be a grade, so they get one shot at taking this test and that's it. If it's not graded, then they can always go back and change their answers if you want. So now you can do a couple things to get that URL. Again, hit send form, and you can get this link to share. There's also a short URL option, so if you don't have a website, you can take this shortened URL, and you can see a lot shorter, and you can write that on your board or put it on a piece of paper for students to take. But my recommendation is you have a website or a blog that you can always post that long URL, or even the short one too, for students to take it easier that way. And that is how you take a Google form. Again, to get those responses that you want to see to grade them, just click on View Responses, and it'll take you to a spreadsheet. Any questions with this, contact me at Tyler L. at Huron ISD for more help.